Ladies and gents, all things covered, listeners and viewers, once again, we back. Another jam-packed show for you guys. BMac, Bryant McFadden, Pat P, Patrick Peterson. You guys know how we rock and roll. First quarter of our show always feels good. It hits differently after a big-time win. So with that being said, it's time to get into our check-in. Lions recap. The Vikings win their second home game. They're undefeated, playing in the crib right now, 28-24. My score prediction last week, Pat P, I wasn't that far off. I had 24-13, of course. Vikings win, and you guys were able to win, man. Let's talk about the game recap, man. Back and forth affair against a divisional team, a team that has really shown the ability to be able to fight. They don't just take punches anymore. They're swinging back. But tell us about the vibe of the game and what ultimately led to the win for the Vikings.
I just think, it just showed, all the situational things that we've been working on all offseason that I've been talking about that kind of hinder us last year for being as successful as we wanted to be, and quite honestly, just been with the group on the sideline and having gone through these situations last year, just understanding that we really put in the work, throughout that week of preparation. Like, we know, what we have to do. We just have to take it a play at a time. Yeah, we know that we're in a hole right now, but just keep digging, just keep digging. We know it's an uphill climb, but just take it a play at a time. Continue to rely on the brother and the guy next to you. And, we'll see what happens at the end of the game. Obviously we was fighting that entire game, going down 14 early, then going down 10 again late in the fourth. But like I said, guys just looked each other in the eye and just said, we got to grind. This is the second time that we have an opportunity to face adversity in this early season. We're 0-1 right now. Can we be 1-1?
Yeah.
First ever. So we end up coming out on top. It was a great team win. Special teams played well. Offense, came through when they needed to. Defense made some key stops when they needed to. And ultimately, we got the dub.
Yeah, and the game this past Sunday against the Lions, if you go back and look at the 2021 season, those were the type of games you guys were losing. One possession game down to the wire, you were finding ways to lose. And it's a bright spot to see you guys find a way to win. What was the biggest turning point in that ball game against the Lions, Pat P?
I'll probably just say, honestly, just understanding that we've been in this situation before. We've gotten better in the red zone. We've gotten better on third down situations. We've gotten better in 2-minute situations thus far throughout the season. So now, at the end of the day, we just have to execute the game plan, taking it a play at a time. And, ultimately, I thought we had a solid game. It was just spurs and periods in that game to where we kind of had some mislaps, but at the end of the day, we end up, not letting it be something that was looming. We put the fire out early, quite frankly, than late. So, just being able to have the guys that been through those situations last year, understanding that we feel like we're like, we understand, the situation that we in. We've been in this situation before. Now it's our turn to prevail through these situations versus failing through them.
And talking about prevailing, what was it like seeing redemption for Josh Metellus? The previous play, he let one go. He let one slip through his fingers. But then finding a way to end the ball game with that interception, what was it like seeing those two plays happen?
Man, that was big for my man Josh. Had a great camp, been a great guy, since I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
Now going on 2 years. Just a core guy on special teams, and just always that Swiss knife that we need whenever we need to pull him out. He's that important to us to where we can plug him in at any given time, throughout the season, because he's very intelligent, has a very high football IQ, understands the game, knows how to communicate, not afraid to talk, and he has all the great traits, to be a great safety in this game. He just, obviously have to wait his turn, being behind the great Harrison Smith. But, when the opportunity comes, he just does nothing but show up. And, that's all you can ask for a guy, that's in a role that understands his role, but also is ready when his number is called.
Yeah. And you as an individual, Pat P, you had a big time pass breakup late in the ball game to force a fourth down. What was the keys to success for you on that play?
Well, for me, I was, had a cut split. I was in the press technique. We knew we had to be.
Explain cut split for our listeners and our viewers, please.
For the most part, he was had a close alignment to the end man on the line of scrimmage. But at
Gotcha.
It was a tight end, if I'm not mistaken. But he ended up running the out. Like, it started off running the out route, but I knew with me playing in the game for, forever now, with him running the out with me in a press, technique, that's very highly, unlikely that the quarterback's going to throw that route because I'm already in press technique. I'm in close proximity of the receiver. So I beat back just to make sure he wasn't throwing it. To secure that play. Obviously, he ended up, rerouting up the field. And I knew I was in good enough position to where the quarterback was not going to put air on the ball, because Goff knows me better than that. If he puts air on that ball and give me time to get my eyes back on, is more than likely going to. So I knew he was going to throw a back shoulder throw. So I just kept my eyes on my receiver, played through his hands, was just far enough to away from the receiver where I did not have any legal contact before the ball got there. So just had, played through his hands and made a great play for the defense. And ultimately, it was a sneaky key play for that game.
Very, very, very much so. Because like I said, that play, forced the fourth down. And of course, we know how it all played out for you guys. Individually speaking, Pat P, how do you feel about your performance through 3 weeks?
Man, I feel like I'm playing solid, man. I wish there's a couple plays that I could take back, like the dig early on in that game. But at the end of the day, I felt I was pretty good in the move area. It was a 22-yard in breaking route. But I was on it. I caught him right when he tackled it. I tackled him right when he caught the ball. I feel like my tackling is definitely has improved going into this season. I really took that, into consideration as far as me, continuing to be a well-rounded corner. Teams are going to force corners to tackle, and I have to make your mind up, going into each and every game, that you're going to have to make tackles. I feel like my coverage is still there. I feel like I still have the speed to keep up with these receivers in the game. But I think I'm playing pretty solid, but leave it up to PFF. Who knows what they say?
Hey, they grade on their own grading scale. They got their own grading scale, so you know how that goes. Last question for you before.
I get a 90 or above every week from my position coach. So
that's all that matters.
All I want to know is who's grading, man. I just want to put some guys who actually knows coverages and knows who has
what
responsibilities.
Yeah.
To say
and that's the most important thing. You got to know each player's responsibility to know exactly if they did what they were supposed to do or if they didn't. You know what I mean? And, a lot of times, most defenses, they play a lot of combo coverages where you got two coverages in one based on what the offense come out in. Sometimes guys might improvise. I might be a half player, but I might tell you to invert. Now we swap roles.
They think every man in the league, man.
Yeah, so a lot goes into the coverage standpoint for our listeners and our viewers. We don't get out there and just do it because we're fast, we're athletic, and we can backpedal. No, you got to be able to communicate. You got to be a thinker. You got to be able to make things call audibles, to say the least, on the fly. And that oftentimes happen. Last question before we transition to the Saints preview for you, Pat P. How does it feel? How does it feel, man? If you look at where you guys are, especially in the division, you play two divisional teams, you're 2-0. How does it feel to start off 2-0 in the division?
And that's huge, man, to get a early leg up on the division. Obviously we know it's a long road, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but obviously, the first goal ultimately is to win your division, to have an opportunity to secure a spot, in the playoffs, and obviously having an opportunity to be 2-0, on our oppositions is great for us. We obviously know is that we have a lot of work that we can continue to work on, things that we can continue to get better at. But it's always good when you can have an early lead on your divisional opponents.
So, Pat P, Saints preview. You guys get ready to play the New Orleans Saints, cross seas, cross the country, outside of the country, my bad, in England. What was your first time like, huh?
I said across the pond. That's what they say.
Oh, yeah, across the pond. Thank you for correcting me, my guy. But what was your first time like playing in England? The atmosphere, the week of preparation, and then the game?
We had an opportunity, I believe it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Bruce Arians last year, we had an opportunity to play the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams. That was their first year. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was their first year moving into Los Angeles at that time. And we went there for the entire week. We was the home team, if I'm not mistaken. But it was different. It was different, man, because it was a different atmosphere being in another country. The time change, the movement of life there is just totally different from the United States. Everything is much slower, much more open. So it was very hard to get to certain things, but for the most part, it was awesome because you had an opportunity to grow your fan base on a whole nother spectrum. You know what I mean? So it was awesome to have an opportunity to go there. Actually, it was 2017, October of 2017, when we played there. But having the opportunity to build a whole nother fan base was amazing, and having an opportunity to play on a different continent was, obviously a dream come true. Growing up, I would never forget seeing that Monday Night Football game, Arizona Cardinals. I can't remember who they, maybe it was the San Francisco 49ers on the Monday night in Mexico City. Yeah, in Mexico City. So, seeing that, being a football fan growing up, always wanted to be a part of that, and now having the second opportunity to be a part of that is a dream come true.
And speaking of the international presence in regards to fans, rooting and cheering and watching the NFL, we will see a lot of NFL fans in England this week for you guys' game. But I want to ask you this: where is the most random place on earth that someone recognized you?
Most random place on earth that someone recognized me. It wasn't random, but I was very highly shocked that this guy knew I was there. I was at Scotland. I was playing at the St. Andrews, the old course. Played with a group of guys over there. And after the round, this kid ran up to me with a Arizona Cardinals red 21 jersey on. I still have the picture to this day. I might send it over to Eric so he can get it on the show. He was like, "Man, I'm the biggest fan of yours, mate. This, that, and he's just talking in his, his British accent, this, that, and other."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm the biggest fan of yours. This, that, I heard you was out here over at the old course. I had to get off work and come over and take I think he was just just graduated college or whatever. It's like, I just had to get off work and come over and take a picture of it. I had my jersey in the car." So it was a pretty cool experience to have an opportunity to meet a fan. And it was during the off season, so it wasn't even like I was over there on, a football trip.
Gotcha.
I was over there literally on a golf trip, and the guy found out that I was there, and he ran up to me with his jersey on, and that was a pretty cool experience. But I probably say I won't say that was weird, but that was pretty ironic that happened in that, in that continent at that time. It made me feel pretty special. So it's pretty cool moment.
And talking about this particular ball game against the New Orleans Saints, how important will it be to have Dalvin Cook and Harrison Smith in the lineup?
It'd be very important to have our two captains, our two leaders, in the lineup because, the team goes, as the leader go. I'll never forget, one of my favorite quotes, that Coach Rapone, I don't know if he's still coaching with Tampa Bay, but he always said to me, me and Tyrann, when both of us carried that C on our chest in the secondary. He always said the speed of the leader will be the speed of the pack.
No question. I like that.
Always with me. They always stuck with me, and ever since I've been honored to carry that C and other guys as well. Is the speed of the leaders will be the speed of the pack. So, having those guys in the lineup would be, will be great for us. Having two leaders, two playmakers, two game changers back in the lineup will be great for us. But, we'll see what happens. I don't know, what the status is on either of those guys, but I hope that, we go through a great week of preparation and are able to have those guys in the lineup for sure.
Yeah. And then talking about the New Orleans Saints, they got Michael Thomas back. He's healthy, but he's not quite on the same pace as he was a few years ago. But what type of challenges does he present?
Man, I haven't had as soon as I get off the show, I'm about to go get on my New Orleans tape as soon as I get home. But having an opportunity to, just go through my memory log of Michael Thomas, very, very talented receiver, have very good burst of speed. He's not the fastest guy, but he have a great burst of speed, very good route runner, very strong hands, going to make those contested catches, So, like I said, I haven't had the opportunity to watch those guys on tape this year because, knowing that he missed, I can't remember. I know he missed last season.
Basically, the last 2 years almost.
I thought so. So, yeah
it's been a minute.
It's not much tape on him, but just like I said, going back through my memory log of the receiver, Michael Thomas, that I was able to face, Michael Thomas that I had the opportunity to face over the times. He's a difficult receiver. A taller statute receiver. He's I won't say on a skinnier side. He's more on a stouter. I won't say stout, but he's a receiver that's not skinny. He's not big, but he's just nice and cut to where he can
big body.
Exactly, he's just a big body receiver that can, like I said, make those contested catches. That can make can take the ball, extra yards after the first contact, so not able to be able to watch these guys on tape, not seeing how they're going to be able to utilize him just yet. Just like I said, just going back through the memory log. But, being a great receiver that he is, it's not going to take long for him to get his streak going. Hopefully his next week, not this week.
Yeah, not this week against you guys, but maybe the following week. How about that? In the last 2 seasons, he's only played in 7 ball games. So he didn't miss both years, but he missed the majority of the last 2 seasons, only playing in 7 ball games. What will it be like, seeing your former teammate, your good friend, your homeboy, your fam, Tyrann Mathieu as an opponent, after all the time you guys spent together in college and, of course, in Arizona? Is this the first time you actually play? Is this the first time y'all playing against each other as opponents?
This will be my second time. We played against him in 2018 when Steve Wilkes was out here.
The Texans.
No. Huh?
In 18, he was with the Texans or the Chiefs?
18, he was with that's what I
Kansas City.
No, they did not win in 18, but yeah, he was there 18 for sure.
Gotcha.
That was 18 because Cliff first year was 19.
Gotcha.
And that was So anyway, in 2018, that was my first time playing against him. It was a great time, obviously, having an opportunity to see my brother again on the playing field in person. So it's not going to be, as weird as it was last time. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing him, out there moving around in person versus, on my iPad or on the tube. Seeing him move around in person and, hopefully not making too many plays on us. So I know how very instinctive he is and how allergic to the ball he is as well. But it's going to be a fun outing to be able to reunite with one of my closest brothers in this I won't even say the football world, just in life in general.
No doubt. Hey, Pat P, will you reach out to Badger and put a little wager on the line? You see who could get their hands on the interception? A friendly little bet. So some Sprite, some tropical. Matter of fact, did you get your tropical Sprite?
Yeah, I was just about to say that, man. Shout out to Mac for getting that Sprite to your boy. I did get the Sprite. I did not have it today. I wanted to bring me a bottle today, but I forgot. But I will have it on the next show. But appreciate it, Mac. He gave me a nice 24 case. I mean, a 24 pack case. I appreciate
the bottles too. You say you asked for the bottles, right?
Big bottles.
Yeah, the big bottles. Big bottles.
Yes,
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So you should reach out. You should reach out to Badger, man. Put something on the line, man. See who get their hands on the football this week.
Yeah. I might. I know. I remember. I can't remember if it was Coke or Pepsi. I remember it was a dark soda that he liked. Maybe you have to put a Coke and a Sprite on. Sure.
What's up with all you LSU boys drinking all this soda? He like dark soda. You like white soda, light soda, Sprite. What?
For me,
LSU thing.
No, Matt. For me, I never really drunk soda growing up because I always heard that it made your face get like these little acid reflexes on your face, like these little patches. Growing up, you know the hood remedies.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always afraid of soda. The year I started really drinking soda was 2014. No, actually 15. Going after my post-diabetes when I found out that I was a diabetic.
Gotcha.
And then I cut off all the sugar, this, that, another. And then after practice, I always found myself just a little droggy. And I, obviously cutting off the candy, didn't want any more sweets. And I found out that the Sprites was just good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2015, after practice, I've been having me a nice cold Sprite.
There it is. All right. hey, tropical Sprite is Pat P's drink soda of choice.
Yes, sir.
He said it's great. Hey, man. And that's a nice little shameless plug to Sprite, by the way. Sprite, rock with us. You know what I mean? We just gave you a shameless plug, free plug. My guy Pat P might like some free soda.
I'm trying to tell you, ain't nothing like a 5-finger discount.
No question. That's the best one going. Best one going. But Pat P, before we go to our break, hit around the league, it's prediction time. Across the pond, are you guys the home team or the away team?
We are the away team.
Away team, so they're wearing white jerseys. Might be, depending on what the Saints wear. Prediction time. I got the Vikings winning 23-17. What'd you say?
I saw the Saints wearing some clean black helmets.
Oh, they got the black joints they're bringing out? Oh, they're bringing out the alternate helmets.
Yeah, so they're probably going to be wearing black.
If they got black helmets, they might as well wear that all black.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. But my prediction for this game, 23-17, total of 40 points. I got the Vikings winning once again, get to 3-1. And that would be huge because that would give you guys 3 wins against NFC teams, which is huge in regards to playoff implications. So let's see exactly what happens. Before we let you guys go, we got to tap into around the league, tap into some news circulating around the National Football League. Let's start within your conference, Pat P, the NFC. Who is the class of the NFC right now? When you look at the more notable teams, we just, highlighted the Eagles earlier in the show, talking about what they've done, 3-0. You got the Rams 2-1. You got the Packers who just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But in your opinion, based on some of the things that you've seen or heard, who do you think is the class of the NFC right now?
Man, I got to pick us for sure.
As you should.
Yeah, other than us, obviously we play one of the hottest teams right now in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are, extremely talented. We're going to have Darius Slay, big play Slay.
No question.
On the tube here later. But I'll probably say they are the hottest team right now in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I agree with you. You can't argue their record. They're undefeated. You can't argue how they've won ball games, the teams they played against. And I know some people might say, in totality, that Miami Dolphins might be a better team than the Eagles currently based on the teams they played against. But I think Philly has done it in a more convincing way, in my opinion. And speaking of the Miami Dolphins, they're 3-0, right? Do you think the hype is real?
I do. I do. I like what I see from the Dolphins. I like the way that they're winning ball games, especially winning ball games like this early.
Mm-hmm.
Mac, that does nothing but build confidence. That
Big
builds
time.
morale into the team. Now you know that you can win these close games. Now you know no matter what the situation is, you can come back. And when a team is like that, they're very dangerous. And that you could just see the confidence building in Tua. You can see the confidence building in the coaching staff. The guys, the players are believing of what the coaching staff are telling them, believing in the scheme, believing in the process to where it's showing up on Sundays.
No question. And speaking of Tua, they can say whatever they want to say. I don't know if you saw the actual play, but they talk about he had a little ailment. Man, that man was concussed.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the play? You know what they say? Anytime you concuss, man, stay down. Don't get up. Man. Don't fight it. Don't fight it because you're going to lose that battle.
Wobbling, and the first thing they do is fix their face,
no question. Yeah. And then he tried to walk. He better be happy he didn't hyperextend that knee because he missed a step. When you drunk, when you concuss and you try to walk, it's almost like that right leg is trying to go up a step, but the left leg is on level ground.
Hey, they missed with that one, but he stayed in the game. They figured it out.
No, he went out and he came back in, but he bounced back.
What I'm saying, he finished that game.
He did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He finished the game.
They put him through the concussion protocol. I'm sure they did. They did.
They said they had some independent doctors that, gave him the test and he passed. Man, that man was drunk. That's what we used to call. So in Pittsburgh, Pat P, anytime we saw someone get concussed, we like they get that prom escort. When you go to walk your date to the prom and take that picture, that trainer come get that arm and walk you slow to the sideline. You get that prom escort. He needed to get that prom escort.
I agree, Matt. Hey, wasn't no doubt about in my mind.
They're talking about a back. They said his back was what caused him to have the water legs, the wobbly legs. Man, that man was drunk. That's what they said. Talking about his back. He had some loose fragments in his back or something. So therefore his legs was kind of a little wobbly.
Fragments.
Hey, man. And they wanted the man to come back in the game because if he was concussed, he couldn't come back. You know that. Man, yeah. That's why I'm like, how y'all don't think this man is drunk? This man is drunk, man. He's asleep. He got up and then he fell they had to go, whoa. Hey.
I saw them this morning, man. I said, yeah. He was concussed.
Yeah, they say he had a back ailment. Hey, last thing we're going to hit him before we let you go. The Pro Bowl is dead as we know it. You heard about the new Pro Bowl format?
Why you said it's dead?
It's disco dead. Man, that whole Pro Bowl, the game, ain't nobody playing no football no more in the Pro Bowl. Y'all wasn't playing anyway. Let's keep it real. They say they're going to do flag. I think flag football. That's what they say. How you feel about that, Pat P?
I'm not laughing at the fact that you said they turning the game to flag football. I'm laughing at the fact that the game is dead, as we all know.
The Pro Bowl dead. As we all know it, the Pro Bowl dead. It's not coming back. It's not going to be reincarnated. It's gone.
The Pro Bowl is
it's flag football now, I think.
Time out.
Huh?
Time out. How they going to implement a flag football game?
Hey, what you mean?
Wait. I'm going through. Obviously, I saw the news.
Yep.
I'm going through how they going to try to implement a flag football game. So how they going to incorporate offensive linemen?
They ain't. Or you might have to have
7-on-7.
It can't be 7-on-7. It might be 9-on-9 or 10-on-10.
That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, what they should do is just cancel the game. Like this flag football is still, if they try to save, injuries. I know, but there's still going to be, it's still high-risk injuries in flag football. You still going to have to make high cuts. You still going to have to jump for the ball. There's still risk there.
You know what they should do? They should do. This is what they should do, Pat P. I just thought of something. I'm a fast thinker, by the way, listeners and viewers. This is what they should do to the Pro Bowl, because to you and for your argument, even if you do flag football, you won't be able to incorporate offensive linemen and defensive linemen. And guys not going to run full speed because they don't want to risk any type of injury with utilizing their competitive juices, right? So this is what we should do. The best players from the NFC go against the best players from the AFC. So we have different challenges, right? Let's do a golf challenge when you come to tee offs, right? Let's do golf. Let's do something like basketball. You know what I mean? Play a game of horse, or maybe a 3-point contest, maybe a dunk contest, or let's do a challenge like maybe a Jeopardy like challenge, a trivia challenge where you get some of the smarter guys from each side. You got 5 of you, and let's do different challenges that will allow you guys to showcase your competitive edge, not utilizing nothing but athleticism.
Right, and what I think they should do is put all of those on those major networks. Like if it's going to be a Jeopardy, have that on a whenever Jeopardy is showing, have it on that night.
Yeah. Also too, what about some of these guys who big time cookers like yourself? Like we're gonna get 3 people from the NFC. Y'all put together y'all favorite dish.
A cook-off that can go on
a cook-off
on a Wednesday.
You can have a cook-off. You can have a shoot-off, basketball, a tee-off.
I like it.
Right or wrong. I just let us listen for all our faithful YouTube watchers. Hit us in the comment box. You like my idea? What'd you say, Pat P?
I said you can even throw in a bass fishing contest. You can go.
Yes.
You said tee off. You can even go to like it's probably not in the contract, but go kart racing.
Man, maybe a home run derby.
Something. But I think I just don't like the aspect of the flag football game, because essentially that's what the Pro Bowl turned to in the last 7 years.
Basically, it's been flagged. So now it's really gonna be flagged because guys ain't gonna be out there running full speed trying to pull nobody flag.
Right, and I think what it comes down to is obviously guys are going into contract years. We play a physical sport. Guys are not trying to risk their bodies for basically a non-meaningful game.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So the NFL should come up with a few different challenges: a tee off, a shoot off for basketball, cook off. In a team, the best conference win.
I like it.
That'd be dope. I think that
we can have, maybe like a big man challenge on a Monday, a skill challenge on Tuesday, something else, a combined challenge on Wednesday, quarterback challenge on Thursday, cooking challenge on Friday. Just make it more of a competitive challenge throughout the week.
Yeah.
Versus that flag football game. I don't know how I feel about that flag football game.
It's gonna really be. It ain't gonna be flag. It's gonna be slow motion. Yeah, ain't nobody moving around fast out there.
No doubt about it. Because how are you gonna be able to implement all aspects of the game? You can't. So therefore, you're not gonna have well, I don't think they had kickoffs anyway. So therefore, you're gonna have to go for it on fourth down every time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to, but there's no physical attribute in that game to where the offensive lineman, defensive lineman can be involved in that. So
I agree.
They get a full week of challenges.
No question. I agree. Hey, hit us in the comments. Let us know. Do you like the ideal of flag football for the Pro Bowl moving forward, or do you like our idea? Let's do certain things that showcase different skill sets from some of these players. Some of these boys can cook. Some of these boys can shoot. Some of these boys can play pool. You know what I mean? Hey, what about a kick off for our kickers? They got to get involved too.
Right. Like kicking it. Like how cool would it be kicking it off the top of the Bellagio or off the top of the Cosmo or something like that into the fountain?
Oh, it is in Vegas.
Hello.
It is in Vegas.
How cool would that be?
I forgot the Pro Bowl will be in Vegas this year. It's a lot of different things you can do in Vegas.
Shout out to my daughters. Oh, man, we love the Sing movies. So, the Sing movie shot in, not shot in Vegas, but animated in Vegas. And just seeing some of the cool things that they was able to do in that movie just made me think of some cool things that I feel that the NFL can do, with some of the challenges, with the Pro Bowl being there during that week. So let's see.
Yeah. No question. Let's see. NFL. I don't know if it's set in stone, but
I've been to 8 of them. I know how to make some of them better. If you need some advice, holla at your boy.
No question. Holla at Pat P. Vegas, getting ready for the 2023 Pro Bowl. Right now, it's flag football they're going to be watching. I don't know how entertaining that's going to be, but let's see if they have the thought process to change some of the ins and outs of the rules and the game and what will be on display for fans to see. Let's go. Let us know. Hit us in the comment section. Let us know if you like our idea. You want to see flag football, or would you want to see guys do things you don't usually see them do? That's the thing. That's what I think. But I can tell you this much. One thing I know Pat P does, play good football. His Minnesota Vikings will be taking on the New Orleans Saints in England across the pond this Sunday. Make sure if you're going to be there in person representing the Vikings, make sure you're loud. If you're going to be able to watch the game from your home, from your living room, your bedroom, make sure you support. Matter of fact, is that an early kickoff? Is it like in the morning?
Yeah, it's like, I think like 8:30, 9:30 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate when I wake up in the morning, game is already on. It's like in the second quarter. I hate that. Oh, well. Well, if you wake up late and you miss the start of the game, hopefully when you wake up, the Vikings already got a nice lead over the Saints. That'd be a great way to wake up on Sunday.
With a nice cup of coffee.
No question, no question. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed our show once again. Pat P, Bryant McFadden, all things covered. Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, the same can be said for a podcast as well. Anywhere where podcasts are found, make sure you hit us with that subscription there so you will be alerted of all our great content as soon as we drop it. See you when we see you. Peace.